On this week's episode of The Video Store, Josh nailed it with Future Man on The Big Show during Black Summer, while Frank went haywire on Operation Odessa during the Solaris, and Josh, Coffee, and Kareem joined Beverly Hills Cop at the core, when Frank DePalma went snake eyes, raising Cain with a deep impact.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Intelligent, but we going stupid. This new shit. Bitch strip club, see some hoes that I went to school with. Out in London like Lennox Lewis. Bitch looking like Farrah Fawcett. I'm just trying to make better music. Get this money, share the profits. Now this class getting led by students. Smoke this weed, get head while I do it.
Welcome to the Video Store podcast, where two guys that used to work at a video store talk about movies and shows that they've seen recently.
He's the boss, Frank.
What's up, Josh?
I'm the employee, Josh.
I like co-worker. I don't like the, especially now, no need for the hierarchy.
Yeah, I guess. But still, you could tell me to do something, and if I didn't want to do it, I'd be like, fucking do it anyways.
I mean, I did let you work a shift while you were on acid and mopping the floors for for way too long.
Can I tell you that was an experience that a long time ago I mean, I don't even know how that happened. All I know is plans went awry and things that were involved from the previous evening kind of extenuated themselves a bit. I just remember, you remember that lady that used to come in with the peacock hair, had like the big, and the husband with the glasses, kind of short.
Kind of.
There was a white woman with like peacock, big fucking like 80s looking hair. When she came in, I almost lost it. I just remember every time they had to handle money and the money started doing things, I was like, I'm going to need you to take over there, boss.
Yeah, so.
I was like, hey, I'm here for you, but you're going to have to completely run the store.
Thanks for being there for me when you show up irresponsibly fucked up on acid.
Well, shit happens, man. I mean, it's Blockbuster. It wasn't fucking, Department of Defense.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to be so upset. Oh, that's right. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, burn.
Speaking of the old BBV, my friend gave me, there's a board game that uses the license of Blockbuster. It's a movie trivia game. And it comes in like a clamshell mock VHS Blockbuster case. So if you like movie trivia, it's very, it's a good for casual movie watchers, and then, people like us that watch way too much.
Do you have late fees if you don't return it within 30 days? Moving
on. Not a lot of trailers out there, but you wanted to talk about Extraction. It's coming out on Netflix April 24th. It's got your boy Hemsworth, Christopher, that is.
Boy Hemsworth.
And David Harbour. It's actually written by one of the Russo brothers. So that's interesting. Directed by Sam Hargrave. Tell us what it's about and tell me what it's about and what you think of it.
Okay, I'll do that. Tyler Rake, a fearless black market mercenary. He embarks on the most deadly extraction of his career when he's enlisted to rescue the kidnapped son of an imprisoned international crime lord. Words. That's what it's about, Frank. Who knows? This could be the next either 7... or it could be way better than that. I think I have a little bit higher hopes. Remember the Affleck movie that came out? The Affleck and had all of them. It seems somewhere in that pipeline. But
so forgettable, but maybe entertaining action movie.
Right.
You can't even think of the title of that Affleck one.
You're goddamn right. So, could be cool. Just a popcorn flick. And we all like looking at Hemsworth. Come on, ladies.
You're thinking of Triple Frontier.
Triple Frontier. Okay, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, so this one looks like it's got the production value of like a big budget theatrical release.
Absolutely. They have crashing helicopters and shit, and looks like some good stunt work. Maybe it's popping. I don't know, man. Obviously, his name's kind of ridiculous. Tyler Rake.
Mm-hmm.
Rake.
I do like the two leads, so that makes it interesting. But I'll wait for you to tell me, man, if I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I didn't watch a lot of TV shows. Well, I'm watching a couple, but I'm going to hold off talking to you about Better Call Saul or Devs because they're going to wrap up soon. And I just feel like episode by episode updates for a show that you're not watching, like you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. So
right, and it's not fair if eventually I'm going to watch it. Do I want every episode reviewed?
Yeah. Super excited for Nailed It. I realized when I went on Netflix that I'm like a full season behind, which is cool. There's more to watch. One of just my favorite, like, brainless, just pure entertainment shows. If I guess people don't know, Nicole Byer, hilarious comedian. And then what do you think of Jacques Torres over the 4 seasons? I mean, I loved him from Jump.
Yeah, no, I think he's great. I think he's really bought into the wackiness of the circumstance, and I think it fits very well. I think they have a good meshed crew. Even Wes.
Yeah, Wes. Yeah, the chemistry's great. Hit or miss with the guest, but overall, it's great chemistry. It's a show about cake fails, bake fails. I don't like
Adam Scott.
Go ahead.
They had Adam Scott on this season.
Oh, how was that one?
Pretty good. Not bad. It's really, to me, it's more about the creations, if anything. I don't know. What's your take on this shenanigan?
I like it. I think it's good fun. It's all the good stuff. It's really wholesome for a reality show. Like, it's all the good stuff about reality TV with really none of the bad stuff. No one's being exploited. They're not being really mean to anyone. You get people in a stressful situation, and it's more goofy and lighthearted.
It is. I agree. They're not making fun of people particularly, and they do give them criticisms, and some people actually improve, or some people perform better and work with different stuff. I don't. It's just a fun, crazy show. I think the greatest episode so far, though, was the Donald Trump one. And not just because it was Donald Trump, but if you saw what the person built, like, you could have said it was anybody, and you built this thing. It was a fucking alien cyborg. It looked like...
Who was the guest host? Was that the Jay Chandazar?
Jay Chandrakishar one? You may be right on that.
Yeah. But yeah, now it's just fun. I think if you look at, sometimes you just need to laugh right now, and you need just pure escapism, like a good distraction, man. And I think Nailed It's great. I always pimp that show out. I'm surprised how many people that exclusively watch Netflix don't know about it, because I think it's one of the best things on there.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. So
yeah,
definitely check that out if you haven't. There's 4 seasons now,
and they're great.
Okay, I've watched them. As we were just talking about it recently, I don't know what we were talking about, but Future Man Season 3 came out all of a sudden, right in my face. Just came right in my face.
We're talking about casting. Someone on that show came up, and they were talking about Future Man. Yeah.
Oh.
So explain to me what this is, because I remember when this first came out, one of my friends was really excited for it, and I was like, that looked like something I could enjoy, but I just never got into it.
It's really ridiculous and over the top. This is about Josh Futterman, a janitor by day and a gamer by night, is recruited by mysterious visitors to travel through time to prevent the extinction of humanity. So basically, he wins this video game, but it turns out they sent this video game back in time to find the perfect warrior, not thinking that video games didn't imbibe the characters that they played. It's somewhat the exact opposite, and that's they
traveled. What do you mean? Like, they thought that
they thought because he was the best at the video game that he would be able to save the world as a real person.
That's weird. The people for the future.
Again, they're very ridiculous, and they also act like action characters. Like Wolf, he's like gut punch, throat rip.
Are those people like the norm for that time?
Yes, they live in a sewer. And they eat rats, and they're all named after animals. There's this great scene at one point where they're like, "What? Badger, raccoon, lion, tiger, squirrel," and there's all these. There's one person for every fucking name, and it goes on for.
Okay, quite a while. I'm curious. So it's they're like in a futuristic, like Mad Max kind of post-apocalypse, but with technology.
Yes,
it's like cyberpunk technology, or
Dude, you gotta watch a couple episodes and just start from there. It's a ridiculous show. It's fucking great. They travel through time trying to stop the end of the world. Haley Joel Osment plays one of his dick co-workers that takes up some different roles throughout this season and the next season. Definitely worth watching. The second season's so fucking ridiculous, but these characters go on their own journeys. Wolf goes on a journey through the 80s doing drugs and getting all fucked up with all of like Tom Cruise and all of these. He has like a beach 80s volleyball best buddy that they do drugs and open this fucked up restaurant where they kidnap people and then take them to the restaurant and then serve them food and while terrifying them at the same time. It's so fucking far out there. It's ridiculous. The latest season 3, takes on that they kind of get stuck in this weird different universe that they think is legitimate. Time kind of passes by in non-existence. There's a bunch of old historical heroes that were saved by future Josh. He went back and saved like Marilyn Monroe and Martin Luther King, all these fucking people.
Is that just like a new kind of theme for just this season?
Yes, correct. Well, it's another direction as the show progresses. But yeah, I think each season does there's a continuation, but because they were basically thrown in prison, right? And they escaped prison when prison was a decathlon run by Susan, who's played by Seth Rogen. And they escaped there, and they're trying to fucking figure out how to get themselves out of, fucking up time because it's collapsing in on itself because they had constantly traveled through it and all this other shit.
Yeah, like all the the troubles with time travel.
Exactly. So
the structure of the show looks like what I wanted Dirk Gently's to be. Because I'm looking at the cast. There's only 3 people that have been in every episode, and then only 2 more that have been in half of the episodes.
That sounds about right. I know Keith David takes a big theme in the first season. Haley Joel Osment plays heavily in 2 seasons. The parents come kind of in and out, but mainly...
Is that Ed Begley? Yeah, Ed Begley's the dad, right?
Yeah.
Ed Begley Jr. That's cool.
Oh, God. Dude, it's his family. Come on, Joshy. It's so much. When they time travel and they end up switching some body parts and Josh ends up with Wolf's penis and it's a whole thing. It's like, no! I have this little thing!
Okay. I think that really explains the humor in the show.
Yeah, so check this out. It is so fucking ridiculous and over the top. It's pretty awesome.
Man, I do appreciate that you love some reality shows because you introduce me to things that most likely I'm never going to watch, but you give me just enough where I'm like, okay, that's an interesting idea.
What?
Like the Big Show?
It's not a reality show.
The Big Show is not a reality show?
No, it's a sitcom.
Oh my God, that's even weirder.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're asking him to act. Okay. Yeah, Paul White plays himself.
Yes.
Okay.
And fucking McCarthy plays his wife.
Okay. So this is Jenny McCarthy plays his wife?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I didn't see her on the cast list.
I thought so. Am I crazy?
I think you're wrong, dude. I think it's someone else.
It is someone else, probably.
And you watched all the... I think it's Allison Munn, maybe?
Yeah, I guess. I guess it is.
Okay. So,
damn, why did I think... Did I see... Maybe it was produced or something. I saw something in a credit somewhere.
So I'm going to guess from the poster...
Wait, Jen McCarthy, 8 episodes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust you. Okay. It might have just been the way the cast was listed on IMDb. But
it's just someone else named Jen McCarthy and not Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
Oh, McCartney.
Does she look like... What is going on? Does she look like Jenny McCarthy?
Yeah, she does. She did. She looked like a slightly, older. I was like, oh, that could totally be Jenny McCarthy for all I know. Blew my fucking mind. You know who I did recognize, and I fucking knew who that was. Fucking Urkel.
And some wrestlers show up in this as well. So
but Urkel.
If you're a wrestling
Urkel
fan...
is in a sitcom.
Yeah.
Jaleel White.
That's a big get.
That was a big get for a fucking sitcom. That's what really hooked me in. As soon as I saw him, I was like, I'll totally watch this for some fucking Urkel. I used to watch a lot of Family Matters back in the day.
Really? Jaleel White is a selling point for you. You'll just watch stuff if he's in it.
A fucking ridiculous sitcom? Yeah, I will. So the show premise generally sucks.
It's what the poster is, right? It's like, he's so big, but these little ladies run his life and boss him around. That's my guess.
Within reason to that. I mean, he still has ties to the WWE that comes up, and obviously, because you see the other wrestlers, he goes on some like cruise and brings his wife, and then they show up, and Mark Henry and him, and they end up getting massages. It's not super great. It's a pretty rough watch, but Urkel's in it.
Interesting. I was looking at his IMDb, Jaleel White's, and I was trying to find something to like challenge you to watch.
Okay. What you got?
There's this drama called The 5th of July. It looks like indie, and
to be fair, I like funny.
To be
Urkel.
fair, okay, funny Urkel. I'm not gonna do any more research during the podcast, but it's interesting that you love him so much.
I watched the 1517 to Paris.
So this is a pretty cut and paste generic sitcom. Did you have fun?
A little bit. I had a little bit of fun.
Would you recommend anyone you care about watch it?
If you have kids that are into wrestling, this would be a perfect show for them.
Okay.
I think that, yeah. Also, the littlest daughter, JJ's like the criminal mastermind. She's like a real life Stewie. She's always like trying to run scams and games and crazy shit. I think she was pretty funny. Beyond that, no great lessons learned or anything of that nature. Doesn't have the heart of, say, a King of Queens or that
or the
kind
talent.
Yeah, no. So it's okay. Again, if you're a wrestling fan and you're tired of watching empty stadiums, maybe this is right up your alley. I don't know, but Frank Urkel's in it.
It's like comfort food, right?
Yeah.
It's like comfort, and if you're curious because it's a fucking big show, you're dominating all the television watching right now. And I didn't even know about this, but this looks like out of all the things you mentioned, I might be into Black Summer. It's a horror series, which is very hard to pull off, but when they work, they're great. This is on Netflix as well. Everything we've mentioned so far, I'm doing a bad job. Besides Future Man being on Hulu, everything we've talked about has been on Netflix. Tell me about Black Summer, man.
So I watched this before, but they are doing a second season, so I think it kind of popped back up, and a lot of people were watching it, I'm assuming, based on the end of days. So I rewatched it because it's an interesting way that they tell the story through these multi-segmented portions from different characters. So you see a little bit of time lapse. It's still progressive, but there is some time lapse and perspective from different characters because they are scattered at different points and then have some interactions with each other, or they're right behind them, or just things happen within certain parts. So the stories are somewhat interconnected.
Like a Traffic, but with zombies?
I'm okay with that. So the lead, played by Jamie King, who you may be familiar with.
Yes.
The show starts off with her daughter, and husband are going to try and get on a military transport bus to get out of there. All the people are heading up that way. The husband gets checked. They're like, no, something's wrong. And then everything kind of hell breaks loose from there. And they kind of follow these different people in these storylines that it's a little less said and more doing, where the actions kind of speak louder. There is dialogue, but I'd say the scenes end up being more powerful than the script, and not in a bad way. Just I think they tell the story more visually than they do with words. There's also this one Korean woman who gets in the car with this older lady and this Hispanic man, and they end up being able to communicate on some level and really build some trust, even though they don't speak the same language. So it's a really good approach. I think it's very well shot. I always love that blue film, but either way, it's well done. It's a little bit scattered at points, but if you enjoy the characters, I think you'll really dig the show. And there is a lot of good action. The zombies are definitely more of a Train to Busan style, where they are fast, quick, people die, and they are quick, fast, and they are after you. So. It's very intense, and I think the pace is very strong.
Cool. You're going to watch season 2?
Oh, fuck yeah.
For some reason, it reminded me of a game I haven't thought about in a while. Do you remember Zombie U, which I think they just call Zombie now? Because it was like a Wii U launch title.
Left 4 Dead and stuff.
Oh, I mean, that's a huge one. Zombie U was like a Wii U launch title from Ubisoft, which was like, yeah, Nintendo's going to do like mature games now. And a cool feature was when you died in the game, you started off as a new character, and you could steal the character that just died stuff, but they would be a zombie.
Oh.
So the story just continued throughout. Yeah, I thought it was a really cool feature, and it's just like how you're saying everyone's spread apart. It just reminded me of that. So
yeah, what pisses me off is I don't know when it says 2020, but they won't tell you when the season's coming out.
Yeah, maybe they're pushing things up or back because of what's going on.
Yeah, they're like, guys, it's not real. You're not gonna the zombies. I mean, and maybe it is, but maybe it's not.
I'd be curious. I'm sure like every streaming service right now is having meetings. Like, do you treat it like Christmas, where you're like, you can kind of throw out the dumb stuff because everyone's going to go in and watch things, or do you try to put your premiere stuff out now because everyone's going to see it? Or I don't know. But it's interesting. We definitely want more new stuff. Look how popular fucking Tiger King was, just because it was the new thing. Right place, right time.
Yeah, and tigers.
So I figured I had a lot of free time, and I talked to you. Like, I was going to try to do some themed episodes. I used to do just exclusively themed episodes on this podcast.
And then you went rogue.
I followed a path, and I went where it took me. So yeah, originally I was like, telling you, I'm going to watch some documentaries and some apocalyptic stuff, apocalyptic fiction, and some nonfiction documentaries. And that started with this thing called Operation Odessa. It's on Netflix. It was originally a Showtime doc, and it's from the producers of the 7-5, which I think is that police precinct documentary. It's really good. Did you ever see that one?
Mm-mm.
That was really good. It had like one of the most fucked up and corrupt police stations. So I'd recommend that one. It's been a while, so I can't talk about it like with great memory. But
fuck some of the police.
Yeah, this one is a true crime story about a Russian mobster, a Miami playboy, and a Cuban spy. And team up to sell everything: drugs, fucking nuclear submarines. It's insane. So basically, this guy starts out as like a low-level dude, and just to give you an idea of like what these characters are like, it's like Guy Ritchie level guys or like Martin Scorsese characters, like to the point where you're like, it's almost over the top if these characters weren't handled by like directors that are great at doing crime stuff. Like, these guys are fucking larger than life. It's insane. So the one guy, he's a drug dealer, and he, I think he was like New York or Jersey, something like that. But he moves to Miami, he starts a strip club, and word gets around the world that there's this Russian guy who has a strip club in Miami. So it becomes like the hub, the American hub for like Russian organized crime. Because like, it's one of their own. They want to support him. And just from him being there, he gets access to all these people, and he has that, that thing in his DNA where he just wants to take it to the limit, like our favorite Scorsese characters.
Take it to the limit.
Like where just greed and like the accumulation of things and just the rush. And, he partners up with this guy. And so there's like two main characters. I forget the names, but I think it's Juan and Richard are the ones. But they team up, and they're good influences. One's like more wild, playboy, flashy, and the other one is more reserved. And they bring a third friend in that gets involved with like the California cartel. And they have a plot that coincides with the fall of Soviet Union, where you can get like military fucking vehicles, like helicopters, tanks, submarines at ridiculously low prices. And these guys just they kind of stumbled into this life of organized crime. They definitely have some skills for it. And, there's just personality traits you're going to need, but they just keep like lucking their way up and they're learning things. And they're just like, well, we got away with this. Why not keep going? And the story is insane. There's an undercover cop that gets really involved in it. And it's just one of those fascinating where like true life is weirder and more over the top than fiction sometimes. And it was just like,
Hey, Tiger King.
Yeah. If you're a fan of Tiger King, I think a lot of things that make that appealing would make this appealing. Definitely smarter characters, not as tragic, like very much like early Scorsese, early Guy Ritchie stuff where you root for the bad guy for a reason, So yeah, man, if that interests you, I would definitely recommend that one. I had a really good time with it.
Okay.
So then, like, the second documentary I watched was about a director, and I'll talk about that at the end. And that got me into like, I'm going to watch movies in chunks of based on the director.
Chunky
movies. And Steven Soderbergh makes movies that I typically enjoy. I don't know if you're like a fan of him.
Sure. Yeah.
Like his stuff.
Steven
Sadie. And someone was talking about Haywire. It wasn't even a movie podcast. Something I was listening to.
Oh, sorry, man, but it's 8:00 and everyone's outside howling again. You haven't heard about that?
I'm going to be quiet so we can hear it.
Are you serious? If I open my window right now, all you could hear is people howling.
Yeah, do it real quick.
Okay.
It's okay. It's fucking awesome.
You hear this?
Yeah, it's coming in good, dude. I think that's cool as shit.
It's spreading faster than the corona.
Do you know the backstory?
No. I think it was celebrating the shift change for hospital staff. Is that correct?
Okay, that sounds right. I saw the story, but I didn't really dig deep into it.
I'm guessing based on a video that I saw, but I think it makes sense, right?
It does make a lot of sense. Yeah.
Shift change for maybe. Yeah, maybe that's it for them.
We should all do that. You start scaring the powers that be. If we can just synchronize a fucking howl at 8:00 every day. Just imagine that. Like we're coming for you.
And then you join the Facebook group, The Howl.
let's take these memes and fucking make something productive out of them. Back to Soderbergh.
About the current events.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Let's not even get into that.
No. I just heard it outside. I'm like, yo, there's either a bunch of wolves at. Oh wait, it's 8:00. Look, I live in Colorado. There could be a bunch of wolves outside. We have mountain lions and shit.
They're probably running. They're heading for the hills now.
Yeah.
Probably a tactic that was used in villages back in the day. We'll all go out and yell, scare the creatures back into the woods.
Sure.
So I wanted to watch some Soderbergh movies, and specifically ones I haven't seen yet because he's definitely a director that I find interesting. He does some cool stuff with, low budget, and he likes to kind of tie a hand behind his back and challenge himself, which I think is really cool because he definitely doesn't have to do that. Like he has the reputation where he could just be making mid-level to big budget stuff all the time. Anyways, movie Haywire came out in 2011. I saw it like in the Redbox when it came out. And I thought it was just like a straight to video like action movie. I didn't really connect Soderbergh with it. So this is just a straight up action movie. It's well crafted. There's really not much depth to it. It's about a Black Ops super soldier seeks payback after she's betrayed and set up during a mission. And
I like it.
What makes it interesting is that this actress Gina Carano. Did you see fucking?
Yeah, I saw fucking.
God no, I guess The Mandalorian.
No.
Okay, she's like one of the main characters of Mandalorian. She's like kind of like this Xena type character. Okay, she's in Deadpool. I was like,
she used to fight MMA before she became an actress.
Okay, that too. Cool. I forgot you were into MMA. So, yeah, she definitely has action star chops, man. She played Angel Dust in the first Deadpool, and I was like, oh, she would fit in really well in Fast and Furious. She was in Fast and Furious 6.
Right.
Just like a natural talent. more so on like the action chops than an actress, but she definitely was very convincing, and I just really enjoyed her watching her beat the shit out of people, just like the fight coordination. And I'm not like the hugest action movie person. I'm a fan of John Wick and Fast and Furious, but the action's really fucking good in this movie, and I think Soderbergh like directs this really cool and just gives it like its own unique style. Ewan McGregor's in it as well. He's like her
Fassbender,
boss. Fassbender is in it.
Antonio Banderas, Michael Douglas, Channing Tatum.
Yes, it's got a really good cast, and I thought
name.
Like I said, it's not much to it. It's just like a throwback to very simple action movie. But I was compelled in digging the story, and if you like her performance and you like her character, which I did, and you're rooting for her, it makes it an interesting movie, and it was a fun time, man.
Do you feel like this was kind of like a lone kiss goodnight?
No. Not even that. Like, it is more straight up than that. Where like there's more of she's not that much of a character. There's not much going on.
She's just kicking ass and taking names. And
it's like a Bourne Identity without even the subplot of him not know. It's like a Bourne Identity, but
I know who I am.
She has her memory. Yeah, like it's not that complicated, dude. But that's the charm of the thing. It's smart. It's not dumb. It's very simplistic.
That's okay. Some things are beauty and simple at the same time.
Just pure action movie. Yep. And then a movie that kind of evaded me for a long time. Solaris. You ever see this one with Clooney?
I think maybe a while ago. I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the Clooney.
Dude, like sci-fi movies were like probably the last genre that I got into. Maybe like really? Dramas. But eventually,
I saw Event Horizon in theaters, and it terrified me as a child. So I think
Event
that
Horizon. Yeah, like I just dig like shit, like the characters, the creatures, and like the social commentary and the psychological exercises that go on in a lot of these. And I'm definitely like forgiving of bad sci-fi movies if they're entertaining enough. If they fall apart and like they're trying to do something
still fucking
big.
Space. Yeah,
well, not even that. Like I like weird ideas that they try to like make a story out of. I just forgive.
Did you see Pantorum or whatever that was with?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Dennis Quaid and fucking. I don't know.
I would probably like it.
It's a weird. I
like Gattaca.
Ben Foster and Dennis Quaid. It's a weird fucking movie, dude.
Okay, yeah, I love Ben. I might have seen it. I don't know. I remember the box art for it because it was a Blockbuster era movie, and it had like these weird like metal cables or something like wrapping around the name. It was just like the title. It was dark. So
really?
yeah. But like I liked Gattaca, and like similar to Gattaca, I thought Solaris was like, oh, this looks really melodramatic for a sci-fi movie, and it kind of is. This is a remake of a classic, like all-time classic film.
Sleepless in Solaris.
Solaris is a 1970s film that was like about an hour longer and is like heralded as one of all-time greatest sci-fi movies. So George Clooney was not very well liked back then, and this was like sacred grounds that Soderbergh was fucking with. So this movie was like considered like a total flop. Didn't make a lot of money. So Clooney's on a rescue mission. He's a psychologist, and he's investigating a crew of an isolated research station where something weird is going on. They're orbiting a bizarre planet that has some powers. And while this is going on, Viola Davis is in this, and this is 2002. So this is before anyone really knew who she was. She kills it in this, obviously. Viola Davis has always been awesome. And this other guy is on there, and he's like, what's going on? And it's kind of mysterious, and then all of a sudden his dead wife, George Clooney's dead wife, shows up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's played by Natasha McElhone. Mm-hmm. I butchered that name, but did you ever see? She was in Truman Show, like Truman's like Real Love that they took off the show.
Oh yeah, no, I love her.
Californication. She has such great eyes for sci-fi. Like what she does with her eyes, like she's beautiful but kind of creepy, and like there's something insidious she can just do with her face. So like great casting, I thought. And like there's
she
something
was Karen before Karen was Karen.
Like there's something with her face where like when she was in Californication, she's such you felt so bad for her, and she seemed so sweet and just like perfect soul, but she could then just turn immediately and she just like, is this person an alien? Is she evil? Like really underrated character actress for sure. And in this movie's favor is that it does tear away a lot of the cool stuff from the original, but it's a very simple story. Again, I mean, it's kind of a theme with Soderbergh. He likes to keep it simple. 90 minutes. So I found it interesting, man. I know it's not an action sci-fi movie. It's not, a creature feature or anything like that. But I thought the acting was really cool. I'm fine with Clooney. I don't love him or hate him. I think he's got talent. So in the right roles, I enjoy him,
In doses.
And I watched this one on STARZ because in a moment of weakness, I signed up for that like thing. Have you been seeing these STARZ ads? I feel like they're everywhere.
Probably.
I just wanted to get access.
As weak as you.
I mean, it's a lot of movies. STARZ is like the movie premium cable channel, and I got 3 months for $5, and I put a notification in my calendar to cancel it. So
yeah,
I watched. There was a movie I wanted to rent for $4, so I was like, "Fuck it, dude! For $1 more, I'll check out this." And I think they have like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and some relatively new releases on there.
That is true. So for that price, how can you say no?
Yeah. Hashtag not an ad. So yeah, those are two Soderbergh movies I enjoyed. Haywire definitely more. I think that if you're an action movie person, you're going to like it. Sci-fi fans are definitely more specific and particular, so I might not dig that one.
Fair enough. You
got a couple themes yourself, yeah. I'm a sucker for buddy cop movies, and I fucking thought Beverly Hills Cop was like the coolest shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. And this popped up just on the other day, and Axel Foley sucked me in really quick, and I was like, oh, I'm fucking in. I'm watching this whole fucking thing.
Beverly Hills Cop
I was hoping
2.
it was going to be a full marathon.
Yeah.
I did not get I did get to watch 1 as well, but I did not get to watch 3. So I love Wally World. The third one's great. One of my faves. But I've heard. So, anyways, yes. If you're not familiar, Beverly Hills Cop stars Eddie Murphy, Judge Reinhold. Who else is in that shit?
Beverly Hills Cop 2. You saw, right?
Yeah, well, I watched that one, and then I watched half of the first one, and then I went to sleep.
Well, specifically 2 has Brigitte Nelson, Paul Reiser.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 2 does. Yeah, but he's like, that's a huge bitch. Yeah, it's one of the best fucking cop trilogies that probably ever existed.
He wants to do another one. Did you know that?
I did. I heard about that, and all I can hope for is that happens because I still think he could absolutely do it without issue. We've all seen him in the Dolomite thing and a few other recent things that he's totally capable of doing it.
Yeah, I think he wants to do it with Craig Brewer, the director of that.
Man, bring this series back and I would have no issue with this in a heartbeat. It's fucking one of the greatest trilogies before. I would say before Lethal Weapon showed up, this was it. And I don't know if that's true. You think that's true? You think Beverly Hills Cop was before Lethal Weapon 1?
I can look it up. I have the interwebs, but
I know.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the staples. I was curious of how well the sequels hold up, especially because
it's still great.
But yeah, as far as action comedy goes,
Beverly Hills Cop came first, 1984, 87 Lethal Weapon.
Okay, so it came out same year as Beverly Hills Cop 2. Would you watch? So yeah, I feel like a lot of people a little bit younger than us just don't realize how huge Eddie Murphy was and how awesome he was. He's a force. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
At the height of his popularity, like when comedians can like take a movie, and these movies all made like hundreds of millions of dollars, dude,
and play every character.
It's crazy. So worldwide, $300 million movie, Beverly Hills Cop 2, insane. Right. Like, and that's 1980s money.
Right. So it's like more. Yeah. I don't know what the inflation rate is. Probably at least double. Well, Maybe like 1.5 or something, but still, it's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, when a guy was just so funny, people just watch whatever he's in. Like, he just carried these movies. And the first
that was
one,
like Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Every fucking movie they were in, people would just go see them.
Those were pretty good. They weren't like Beverly Hills Cop was a force, dude. Like $300 million. That's like giant. That's like, not Star Wars.
Yeah, I just meant in the sense that people would go see these films just because of how hilarious the people are. They didn't really care about the premises. They cared about the relationship of the person and, what they're going to do.
I'm thinking like a Jim Carrey's run. Like Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Like
Will Ferrell might have been like the last one. Because like after post Will Ferrell.
Seth Rogen kind of had
I was going to say Seth Rogen's like kind of a poor man's version of that.
Yeah, he's like a different stream path. He wasn't as... He hit a certain line of people because obviously Jim Carrey... Eddie Murphy could play both family friendly as well as adult themed, and I think Seth Rogen never really got down to the family friendly, even in his young years. I mean, he did Freaks and Geeks and stuff that was already adult built.
He put in the work for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 2, man, that's a trilogy. That's a good like Sunday, or really a lot of days for people are just Sundays now. It's a good binge.
Choose your Sunday.
Take a break in between each movie. Go stretch, go for a jog. But schedule a nice day around the Beverly Hills Cop trilogy.
You'll not regret it.
It'll be a good day, yeah. I am dubious. I saw this Coffee and Kareem thing. The title seems just corny to me.
It's so much, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ed Helms, again, I don't hate or love him. He's done some cool stuff. Okay, yeah, I like her a lot better.
She's the girlfriend.
So this is a buddy cop. Explain what the fuck this is and tell me if I should watch it.
Okay, so this is about 12-year-old Kareem Manning hires a criminal to scare his mom's new boyfriend, police officer James Coffey, but it backfires, forcing Coffey and Kareem
fucking hate
to team up in order to save themselves from Detroit's most ruthless drug kingpin.
This should be a fucking show that they show for 30 seconds while you're waiting in line for Dunkin' Donuts. Like,
I could have watched this in like 15, 20-minute episodes as well. I feel like I could have watched like 4 of these things.
Here's an idea for you. Shows that they play while you're in the drive-thru waiting for food.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But then again, you also don't expect it to take that long. And then people are going to watch it and hold up the line.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, no, man,
yeah.
Hold on. I don't have Netflix at home. I need to finish this shit here.
Go park.
Yeah. Well, now here's the thing. If they did parking screens where people could get their food and then park and then watch something from their parking spot.
We just invented the drive-through movie theater or drive-in movie theater.
So yeah, you could like it's a digital red box at the parking spots that would like pop up, and you could select shows while you're eating there, and then it's even safer. You don't have to drive home. Your food's hotter. You can just sit there. There you go, man.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars.
Trademark
Anyways,
it.
Coffee and Kareem. So Taraji P. Henson plays Kareem's mom, who Ed Helms is dating. So when I saw this, I was like, well, yeah, it looks fucking ridiculous. But also, I was a fan of Cop and a Half back in the day with Burt Reynolds, which we discussed previously, where there's a real fucking nasty cop and a nasty kid, in a sense, and they end up like, we're okay, you and me.
Just ridiculous. Yeah. Like, could you imagine if this happened in real life? Kid get involved in police procedurals.
Well, so this isn't as much that as Cop and a Half was. This was more that the kid got him involved in a situation where he was trying to kind of hire somebody to break Ed Helms' legs, and then they shot some other dude while he was trying to do this, and then the cop came in, and then turns out they're getting framed for killing that guy, and they're basically almost fugitives in a sense. He's like so it's not as much that they're on the side of law. However, this kid treats Ed Helms like a piece of... Well, everybody treats Ed Helms like a piece of shit. Also, one of the big things is Betty Gilpin plays the Detective Watts.
Okay. You kind of buried the lead there. I'm interested. I perked up a little bit.
Then she shits all over... She verbally abuses Ed Helms. It's pretty good. I'd say the verbal destruction of everyone destroying him and just, you're a fucking pussy, Coffee. You just a big fat and he's
so this is rated R.
Oh yeah, no, I would think so. It has to be, right?
I mean,
TVMA.
if that's an actual line, then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely fully hard. This kid's a little bastard. He's a son of a bitch. And he's got a real foul mouth, and Ed Helms is just not as foul mouthed and obviously more straight and trying to do the right thing. And man, when the son tases Taraji P. Henson because they've got to get out of the house, my God, it's ridiculous. And then you remember the guy that was in the Babysitter movie where she was evil? He's a YouTube star, King Bach.
Okay.
King Bach?
No, not really.
Oh man, so he's one. His real name's Andrew Batchelor, but he was basically a YouTube star that blew up, and he's done a few Netflix movies. You'll recognize him when you see his face. Mm-hmm. He's been in a bunch of shit, but the dude's fucking hilarious, and I love when I get to see him in shit. He's really funny.
The movie's dumb though, right? Like
it is. It's generally fucking ridiculous and dumb, but
so if I have 2 hours, like I want to watch something dumb, Spencer Confidential or Coffee and Kareem.
Coffee and Kareem.
Oh, see, I feel like I'm going to disagree.
You're wrong.
That was just my kind of stupid. I don't know. Okay,
this is better stupid. I mean, it's a much more vulgar. Probably a little bit more violent. I don't know.
Okay.
It's pretty. It's got its moments. It has its moments. You got to check it out. For Ed Helms' grenades, his big green grenades.
So I think with like the current situation, fairly common way that a lot of people are dealing with is like watching apocalyptic end of the world movies. And it's an idea that I had. I didn't really follow through, but you watched a couple, and I appreciate that.
I watched a couple because you suck.
Yeah. It's a lot of times they're like time capsules of like what of the current time, like what they, I don't know, their view of government, right, yeah, and foreign affairs. Sure. They work in that way. So The Core, I did never seen. This is from 2003. This one's on Netflix. And I remember the ridiculous idea. The only way to save the Earth from catastrophe is to drill down to the core and set it spinning again. So what happens? The world stops spinning?
The core does, yeah.
I'll run down the cast real quick so you can tell me about it. Aaron Eckhart.
Hilary
Swank.
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci. Morgan Freeman. Richard Jenkins.
Morgan Freeman?
I thought you said Morgan Freeman was in this one.
No, Morgan Freeman was in Deep Impact.
Oh. They came out at the same time. My bad.
Bitch.
So tell me about The Core.
I feel like, I don't know if I saw this in theaters, but I know I saw this when this came out. Back in the day, for sure. It's more of the story of it's your standard world's going down, and these people, at least it's more of a journey into the earth and them in the little turd drill that they're in, drilling down there, and not as much on the top side of things going on. The other great ridiculous, it's just so fucking over the top, man. DJ Qualls, they arrest him, and I remember him like frying all these computers, and then they arrest him. He's like, I need an unlimited supply of Hot Pockets if you want me to help the government and you want me to control. I remember
that, yeah.
Right.
Is there anything more fucking early 2000s than DJ Qualls being in a movie talking about Hot Pockets?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. Time capsules, man. God,
yeah.
That guy had a run. So
I will say Aaron Eckhart put his heart into this, man. You felt he was pushing this role to the fullest. All in all, it's pretty standard end of the world movie, like anything else that we've seen with Deep Impact and Dante's Peak and Volcano. But fuck, I love all of them, so I don't care.
It's a genre you forgive.
I do. I've always forgave. So all in all, not the worst end of the world movie. I've seen much more terrible. San Andreas, I think, was pretty shitty, and that was new.
Okay, so that's the bar.
Dude, I could recommend like 30 right now, though. But did you ever watch Dante's Peak with Pierce Brosnan?
Save that. Well, we should do an episode around this, especially since you love them so much.
I do love them, and you didn't participate.
I didn't, man, because the second documentary I watched was the DePalma one, about Brian DePalma. I mean, a director I'm aware of, and this one's directed by Jake Paltrow and Noah Baumbach. It came out 2015. It's available on Netflix. And Brian De Palma, he did Untouchable, Scarface, Dress to Kill, Body Double, director of over 40 films. And he kind of like carried the torch for what Alfred Hitchcock like founded and created. He was trying to do like that similar style, Mm-hmm. Are you a fan?
Yeah, no, for sure. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Okay. So, I'm a movie nerd. I just love books and documentaries about filmmakers. And especially, it's like time traveling, like cheating time when you can just consume like someone's life work and this story in 2 hours. And it was really good, man. I really dug the documentary. And just seeing all these clips and stories behind his movies, I'm like, of course I'm going to want to watch Brian De Palma movies now. And specifically ones that I've missed for whatever reason. And so that's what I did. Again, documentary's great. Highly recommend it if you're interested in film. If you listen to this podcast, you probably are. So real great doc. I would check that out. And I'm going to go back and probably watch most of his movies. It was interesting. So early on, he was very much like a political activist. And the films he did were like very out there ideas, very radical ideas. And then he kind of changed. And then you see like his Hitchcock influences once he started adding more style, and it was one of the
getting
more
comfortable. Yeah,
definitely one of those style forward. I wouldn't say style over substance, but the style is like the thing note about like the score of Brian De Palma movies, the things he did with the camera work and stuff, and just like interesting weird things. And I definitely respect what he was trying to do. Like he took chances and the ups and downs of his career, and you just see like how. His perspective was interesting, and one of his main points is like it's very hard to get these things to work out. Like sometimes shit doesn't come together, it just falls apart. It seemed pretty honest. I mean, he was definitely taking his own side in most of these stories, but just fascinating documentary. So that led me to watch Raising Cain, which is on Netflix.
I had their chicken today.
Fuck you.
What? It's delicious.
I hope you did. You just wait.
I did. I really did. Raising Cane's chicken, it's the best.
Okay. I don't think it's related to this horror movie. So the story behind this was it was supposed to be a completely different movie, and then Lithgow's performance in this was the only good part, or like by far the best part in Brian De Palma's eyes. So he put that forward and kind of changed what the movie was in the editing process. It was very interesting. It probably happens more often than we realize, and maybe not always as extreme as this. But oh my God, I'm reading the description of this. It doesn't even follow. So he's like kind of Jekyll and Hyde situation. And the wife suspects that her husband, played by John Lithgow, has an unhealthy scientific obsession with their child, unaware of what he's doing and who he is. So like the story is fucking weird, like almost incoherent, but the performance by Lithgow is very interesting, and it's worth checking out for that. Like it is borderline hot garbage movie, but the Lithgow stuff was very interesting. And
is it like Lithgow Ricochet?
I don't know. I didn't see Ricochet.
Oh, Denzel.
Okay, but like the style. I mean, there's talent behind the camera, obviously. It's just one of those ideas that didn't fully form, and it's a mess. But it was an interesting mess. It's only 90 minutes, so you're not struggling with it too much if you don't dig it. But it was an interesting movie. I wouldn't say it's like greatly entertaining, but if you like John Lithgow, you're interested in like weird crime horror movies you hadn't seen before.
Do you love Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah, you might be interested in it. And just reminds you like how good Lithgow was in that season of Dexter. One of the best seasons of Dexter.
Lithgow's always been the man.
He's so good at being a creep, man.
For sure.
Underrated actor in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. In a lot of people's eyes, I hope.
Yeah. And the other one I watched, which probably surprises you, I've never seen Snake Eyes before.
Yeah, I owned Snake Eyes.
Yeah. So
Sinise. This
is a crime thriller starring Nicolas Cage. You got Gary Sinise in there, John Hurd, and Melanie Griffith. Mm-hmm. And it takes place inside a arena in Vegas. Atlantic City. Sorry, Atlantic City casino during a boxing match. Nicolas Cage is like this sleazy police detective. He gambles, like he knows everybody. He wears like this awful fucking big collared shirt.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Which he switches out when he goes into detective mode. And I think I blink because I miss the change of shirts. He goes from sleazy shirt, and I think he keeps the jacket, and he goes tie. He like dresses up somewhere in the middle of the movie. Very weird. Yeah. But everything's contained in this casino, which is interesting. The shit that DePalma likes to do with camera work and stuff and just like heightened moments is perfect for this scenario, for this like crime story where there's a murder conspiracy going on and they lock down the arena and try to solve this mystery. And
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Cage carries this thing as he does. This is 1998 Cage. So before
good Cage.
Yeah, he was kind of doing the same stuff. I think he was just more accepted by audiences back then. But I really dug this one, man. I mean, it's goofy as shit. It's ridiculous, but very entertaining.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. It was a good thriller. It reminded me of those just the 90s thrillers that we don't get as often. The different types of Denzel movies and the occasional. I wouldn't say Bruce Willis, but we would used to get those 90s action thrillers and things all the time, and we just don't get that anymore. Now we just get over the top shit. It's like, motherfucker.
I mean, what it is, it's the mid-level movie just doesn't really exist. It gets micro budgeted down, and it's on Netflix, and it lacks personality for a lot of reasons. But I'll probably be watching some more DePalma stuff, and then and some other directors. So I'm going to try to do more themes. It just to kind of branch out and not just watch new shit because it's new.
I'm sorry, I'll do that for you.
Yeah, and plus there's just with the theatrical releases being suspended, there's not a lot of new stuff.
Can I just do my own thing and not have any rhyme or rhythm? Is that
yeah, cool? You can do your thing. I don't want to force you to watch shit just to go along with. I mean, I'll tell you the theme, so if you're interested in joining in, you can join in. But yeah, do your thing, man. And,
are you? If you tell me the theme, are you actually going to do the theme?
Probably, more likely next time.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Maybe I'll watch 2 movies and then be like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing."
That'd be cool.
Wait till I'm kind of in there. But it's cool because you watched another. I mean, you committed. You watched 2 apocalyptic movies.
Technically 3 if you call Coffee and Kareem the end of the world. Hey, burn.
Don't shit on a movie that you like.
I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways just because it felt right. Come on.
Okay, so late 90s, 5 years before they were drilled in the middle of the earth to get it spinning, Deep Impact came out.
I know, a lot of fucked up shit happens to the earth in this time.
We got like an end of the world. We got like 2 end of the world movies like every summer. It felt like from like the mid 90s to the early to the aughts.
I could name a fair amount.
You just expected them, and you get a cool ensemble cast, and you'd like 3 or 4 people enough that you'd fucking watch it, knowing it was probably going to be kind of ridiculous.
Remember Chain Reaction with Keanu Reeves?
Vaguely.
Oh man, it was like some first Reeves action there.
Yeah. Gene Hackman too, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Let's talk about Deep Impact.
Okay, and it's not a porn.
Well, it is, but not the one we're talking about.
Okay, that may be true. A comet is discovered to be on a collision course with Earth. As doomsday nears, the human race prepare for the worst. Why does it rhyme?
And cast is ridiculous in this. Robert Duvall, Téa Leoni, Elijah Wood, Morgan Freeman, who is not in that other one, Jon Favreau. So yeah,
look, I will find that this movie probably stood most importantly for one thing: to get us comfortable enough to have a black president. Everyone's like, you know what? I can see it now. And then,
yeah. So
what do you know? 10 years later, man,
it did achieve a cultural impact.
Right. So I think this is one of Morgan Freeman's first foray.
If he wanted to be, Morgan Freeman could probably win the presidency.
Dude, I would vote for Morgan Freeman in a heartbeat. But anyways, on to the movie. It's pretty standard. This one's more on the people on the ground and what the fuck they're going through and doing and trying to prepare.
That's what I thought from your description. That's what I was hoping for.
So it's more of that, and the supplement, like a side storyline, is the astronauts in space trying to do something, but they're not as relevant as the people trying to prepare or mend relationships or discover whatever the fuck Elijah Wood was looking for.
Who's the toilet paper hoarder? I feel like that's Favreau.
Toilet paper hoarder.
No one's in the grocery store buying up supplies.
I mean, I'm sure that happens. You know that Lily Sobieski was in this? Probably.
I forgot. That's right. She was.
Yeah, now that I recall, she was like the girlfriend of Elijah Wood. Okay. And they their romance, they're trying to stay together, but Elijah Wood and his family are allowed to be selected to go to this place where they're going to save people by putting them underground or some shit, like an ark. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're going to, and he's like, no, I'm not fucking leaving my girl. And he's like, then we'll get married. And you're like, you're just high school kids. We don't care. We're going to get married. So then they're getting married. So that then their family and then her parents can also come to the military installation. So there's that sideline. Tia Leone is
so if you get married, you get plus. You don't get a family. +1, but if you're married, that's fucking weird.
I think there may have been some issues with the being +1 and her parents coming. And I think they might have had to leave her parents behind. I'm not 100%. My mind's a little big. There's a lot happening. So whether or not that was his whole goal, he's like, I'm taking my lady. I'm not going to be left in the fucking netherworld without, a wife. So I'm going to take you as my wife, Lily, and you're only like 14. No, I don't know. Robert Duvall and Tia Leone have this relationship where Tia Leone is kind of like a journalist / news involved in the fucking feeding of information or whatever the fuck's going on over there. I don't know, man. All I know is that meteor fucks shit up. So it does hit.
Oh, spoiler.
Not a spoiler. It's in the fucking picture of the fucking cover art.
Interesting. So don't tell us what happens there.
It's the fucking title, dude.
It's a cool.
Deep Impact. Do you think it's not called Deep Miss?
Double meaning though, right? Because it's the physicality and the force, but also how it impacted the people.
And not so much.
Okay. So if you got to pick one, if I'm going to watch one kind of trashy, mediocre, but maybe fun end of the world movie that was on Netflix right now, am I going to watch Deep Impact or am I going to watch The Core?
Flip a coin, bro. I'd say Deep Impact is probably just because it was in the first wave of end of the world movies. So I'd rather see the first take as opposed. I mean, unless you're really in the mood for some Tucci gang.
Well, there's been end of the world movies like forever, but I get what you're saying.
Right, just that '90s wave with like Independence Day and all that. You were raised
on, yeah.
And then, so yeah, I don't know. You could go either way. I think it just depends on which cast you'd be more influenced by. I think at that point. So if you're Elijah Wood, Robert Duvall, Tia Leone. Maybe you're Hilary Swank, Aaron Eckhart, and fucking someone else. I don't know.
Cool. All right, man. That sounds good. Next week, hopefully we'll be doing this weekly. And
if I can watch enough stuff, maybe.
There'll be a theme. Who knows what it is? Who knows if I hold on to it?
Maybe the theme is no theme.
That's your theme. Your ongoing theme. Yeah. And we can always count on you for that.
At least it's consistent, bitch.
Yeah, consistently inconsistent.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, I can always rely on you to be unreliable. That's what I appreciate about you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
Who are you?
Stay safe.
Yeah, don't touch your face.
Have you been howling?
Don't touch my face. Have I been howling?
Yeah.
I was on here. I couldn't howl.
I mean, not today, obviously, but have you howled previously?
No, I haven't howled previously. I'm sorry.
You strike me as a howler.
Oh, well, I mean, I wasn't paying enough attention, and I think that's the first time I was paying enough attention for that to happen, and it was quiet. Maybe I had the TV on, never heard it. I don't know, dude. I'm on the back end of my complex, so I kind of face a dog park. I don't know. Now I'm giving you
I love that little glimpse into your life that I just got.
Yeah, sure. All I know is I don't want to upset the Peach. The Peach does not need the howling. The Peach is my cat. She does not need to think that she's about to die.
Okay, wait. Let's wrap this up.
All right. Well, consider it wrapped.
Sometimes we don't know how to end things.
You know.
Worship these idols till they come in contact with gods. Hoes is all my disciples, you get mind fucked with these broads. Life is just a recital, better remember all that you practice. When I die, throw a couple bad bitches in my casket. Whoa, fuck a day job, got your bitch in just a tank top, getting paid. Roll my face off, bitch, you bank fraud, Bernie Madoff. Educate y'all, then erase y'all. LL Cool J without the Kango. I don't see none of this stunt, wish you the best, I'ma just light up this blunt. This bitch love me long time, don't know why she wouldn't. Said my D could win the Heisman, yeah, I'm Charles Woodson. Couple million off a tour, that's a lot of bookings. My bitch is gorgeous looking, imported from the shore of Brooklyn, coming from out of the bird. Bitch, I'm absurd, fuck you up, hope you insured. Hating, I'll give you just what you deserve, that's my word. Put it on all that I'm worth, been on my grind, take it what's mine. I got my eyes on the throne, I'ma be fine no matter the time, we all go along.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.